Welcome to Backwoods Pursuit. Today we're going to show you how to set up and use the Pulley Ultralight Big Game Hoist. This is a system that you can use to hang your food. If you're hunting in bear country, you can use it to hang quarters of elk or deer, or even 2 quarters at the same time with the dual pulley system. But this is a system that weighs only 4 ounces, and we're going to show you how to set it up as well as how to use it. So let's go get started. As always, we appreciate it if you go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell notification if you like our content, and check us out on our website backwoodspursuit.com and Facebook and Instagram. So the system is, the Pulley system is going to come in a bag like this. That's going to contain all that you need to use the Pulley Ultralight Game Pulley. So within that bag, you're going to see a smaller bag here, which is going to hold the pulley system as well as 2 of these little guys. These are the secondary pulleys that give you a better ratio. You have 2 different ratios when you're using this hoist. One being a 2-to-1 ratio or a 4-to-1 ratio, which basically what that means is under the setting of the 2-to-1 ratio, you're carrying or you're pulling or hoisting half the weight of what the actual object is that you're hoisting. Under the 4-to-1 system, 25% of the actual weight. So if you're in the two pulley system or the 2-to-1 ratio setup, then you have the ability to set up 2 of these at the same time, so you can hang 2 quarters, which we'll show you here just in a second. So one of the first things I like to do when I get the system set up is to cut 2 pieces about a 1.5 feet long or so and tie some loops on the end like this. What this enables you to do is to loop this around the leg just like that, if this is your animal leg like that, and it allows you to have this loop here to hook the hoist onto really easily. You don't have to go tie extra cord. So what I do is just tie 2 of these getting it all set up and just leave it in the bag, and then you've got that always ready to use. So the first thing we have to do is hook this up to the main line that you're going to throw over a tree or limb or branch or something like that. So this is the cord that we use on the main line. This is Dyneema. It's super strong. It's really lightweight, really strong. So that's what this is designed for. It's got a hook, or a loop I should say, on the end that's already designed into that. So that's meant to go along with that little D-ring right there. So that's where you hook that on. It's already got the loop there made for you, so there's nothing else that you need to do there other than just unscrew this little nut there, loop it in there like this, and then close that back up. So that'll be your connection point to the tree, just like that. Okay, so once we get this top Dyneema cord set right here, we're going to go ahead and tie in the 2 pulleys, or the paracord that is going to attach to the pulley. So the way that we're going to do that is take this paracord, put it through that section there, give yourself plenty to work with, come around the bottom here, back up through the back like that, then grab this and basically put it right back through right there, and you're going to make that kind of a loop. Hopefully that's easy enough to see. Okay, so you're going to, just like a D-loop on your bowstring. So now that one is all set. So if you just need 1, that's all you need to do to get it set up, but I'm going to show you how to set it up for 2. So if you need to use 2 at the same time, that's what we're going to do. Create another one of those on that side like that, and you're all set. One thing that I would recommend is to go ahead and use different color of paracord here. It helps you keep it straight which is which, so you're not crossing the lines up. You don't have to, of course, but it does help. Just take this little bag, makes it easy to throw it over that tree rather than trying to get the whole line thrown over a tree limb. So take this little bag, just a rock, pick up a rock somewhere, throw it in there, and tie it off. Alright, so I just attached this to the main line, the other end of the main line here, to the main line here, to the cords on that that bag, and I'm just going to throw it up over the tree probably one of those tree limbs right there, and then we'll get this set up. Okay, so now we've got this over the tree, what we want to do is make sure that these two little hooks here are unlatched. Okay, so once we have those unlatched, we're going to take our two smaller pulleys, these two little smaller pulleys, and put them onto, utilize them on each of these two strings right here. So we'll put those one like this, and then up and over this other mainline pulley, and then close off that latch right there, like that. Do the same thing on this side. The other little pulley, the micro pulley is what it's called, go down onto the micro pulley, then up and over the primary pulley, and grab your latch, latch that in place right there, and now you're set. These two smaller pulleys are independent of each other. You can hook each of those to a different quarter of an animal. Alright, so now that we've got the two micro pulleys here, the two micro pulleys set up and attached to the main line up here, I'm going to go raise the main line so that I can use these two poles to bring the micro pulleys to the height that I want once I get an animal or a cord or something on here. Alright, so this is where using two different color cords is useful, because you're not getting them tangled up, especially if the wind's blowing like it is today. You can keep these separate from each other or identify which one's which. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the weight that I'm going to be hoisting kind of close over to this system, and I'm going to take this little 18-inch loop here that I made earlier that I keep in the pack. I'm going to loop it through. Just for right now, I'm using my backpack here that's full of about 90 pounds worth of sand. So this is going to be testing the upper limits of one of the pulleys. So basically what I'm doing here, I'm just looping it over the loop of the pack, or this would be if you're using, of course, hoisting an animal or something, you'd be using the leg or whatnot. So I'm just creating a loop right there. Okay, so the micro pulley here, you've got whatever is attached to your weight that you're hoisting right here, this guy here. Then you're going to go ahead and latch with the little hooks right there into both of those to hook on to that little rope that you made. Now this kind of tends to come out a little bit. It's kind of a little bit loose. I know Pack-A-Pull's making an adjustment on that with the next model here, but if you have one of these models currently, what you can do is go like hook it on one side and then loop a second loop right there, and then close it off, and that way it's not going to open up on you and accidentally let loose. So I've got the pulley here attached to the pack. The pulley is attached to the micro pulley there, and then up to the primary main pulley all the way up there. So I hoisted a ways up there just so we can show you how this works. So it's a ways up there, and then that main line goes up and over the tree way up there, and then main line goes right over here where I tied it off. So it's all ready to hoist now, to pull that weight up. And again, that's about 90 pounds in my backpack. Okay, we are all set up now. I went ahead and grabbed a stick and wrapped the rope around the stick a couple of times just to make hoisting it up easier. This paracord can burn your fingers if you let it slide when you're going up or down with this. So I went ahead and did that. Now I'm just going to walk away from the pulley, and I'm going to hoist this 90 pounds with this pulley, and we're on the 2-to-1 ratio. So it should feel about like 45 pounds, but it is on a wheel or pulley, so it should be fairly easy. there you go. That worked just fine. A whole lot easier than trying to pull this up without a pulley, of course, over a tree branch. It certainly helps with something as heavy as that, like a large bull hindquarter or something like that. Once you have that hoisted up, you go ahead and tie this one off as well to a tree, and it just stays right where you left it. So once you're done with that, you can do the exact same thing on the other side. The total weight here, the recommended max weight is 200 pounds. So this 90 is about the most you'd want to put on just one of the pulleys. Now I'm going to show you how to set up the 4-to-1 ratio with both of the micro pulleys, so this would feel like 25 pounds or 20 pounds instead of the 90 or 95 that it is. So to set up the 4-to-1 ratio, this is how we're going to do that. Go ahead and tie one of the cords just like we had before. So if we're using it in the both pulleys, in that setting we're using both of the micro pulleys separately, just pull one of them off, basically same exact knot, loop straight down from that knot right there, one of the micro pulleys. Then you're going to come over the outside of that one, right, of one of the outside pulleys, and then latch that closed so that stays put on you. Now take this guy, grab your other micro pulley here, and then go ahead and latch that one together so that it is utilizing that second micro pulley as well. Then you're going to go ahead and loop it over the other main pulley and then latch it up like that. So you've got two micro pulleys that are attaching to the weight here. Now you only have one pull cord, so that effectively engages all four of these pulleys, giving you that 4-to-1 ratio. So what I've done is I went and grabbed my other line here with the loop on it that I made, and just going to attach a second one on this same weight and then hook it up to that second pulley right here. So now when we lift this up, we're going to be engaging both of these pulleys with one pull line here, and so it's going to engage all four of these pulleys, make this a lot easier to hoist. Alright, we're set up, we're ready to roll, ready to get this 90 pounds hoisted up under the 4-to-1 ratio setup. Here we go. So there you go. That's really all there is to using the packable system. Now this is something like a lot of the gear that we use in the backcountry, something that you want to set up and test out. Use it several times before you get out in the backcountry. The way the pulleys work and set up, the way the two different configurations of this can be frustrating if you don't know what you're doing and haven't spent the time to learn the system beforehand. So I highly recommend doing that. Don't get yourself in the situation where you're going to be frustrated and just not use it, because it is a useful tool. So that's the way, but that's the way that works. If you like our content, we sure would appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button for us. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, as well as check out our website, backwoodspursuit.com. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.